Hey, I'm Russell Leeds.
And I'm Anna Leeds.
And welcome to the Leeds to Success podcast. Now, this week, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. A guy called Jim Rohn, who's like a legend of the personal development world. He had a saying where he said, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And we're going to be discussing the idea of that. What does that mean? Does that mean that if you've got friends who are not who you would like to be like, you should just cut them off, or family members that are not who you want to be like, you should cut them off? And what should you do? And sort of delve into a bit about our experience and how that kind of works. So I thought I'd actually kick things off. I looked at a study that was taken place by the New England Journal of Medicine, and they were sort of studying how people become obese. And one of the key findings that they found in this study was that you were significantly more likely to become obese after a close friend of yours became obese.
That's interesting.
You've got a close friend who becomes obese, it means you're significantly more likely to. And is it because of peer pressure or why is that? But I mean, I've personally noticed in my life when I've done something, whether it be being obese or whether it be losing weight or even simple things, even the things like I'm looking at you right now and I can tell by your teeth that you've got nice straight teeth. You didn't used to have those nice straight teeth.
No.
That's actually because you had nice straight teeth and I've got nice straight teeth, and quite a lot of our friends that didn't used to have nice straight teeth. So I think, was it me that went first? I think it was on the Invisalign.
Yes, well, it was our friend Rob, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Rob.
It was Rob that started the nice teeth trend.
I'm trying to take the credit there.
Yeah, you were.
It wasn't me. Rob is in a different friendship group, though, to most of our friends I'm talking about. So I think I was the first in our friendship group. But you are right. Rob kind of got me stuck. Well, I said to him, and you don't normally ask this. I was just like...
But that's funny you say that, because the different friendship group. But I think Rob influences us quite a lot.
Do you?
Yeah. I think there's holidays, teeth, there's quite a few things, and then we influence them, fitness.
Well, that's the thing, right? So he's now signed up with my PT, who I got from Samuel.
Yeah, I think us and Rob and Kaylee influence each other quite a bit.
I think all friends do. That's that's the kind of the purpose of
but
that.
Some I think more than others, and I think that's...
You think some friends influence each other more than other friends?
Yeah, and I think...
Is that a good thing? Do you regret getting Invisalign?
No, I don't regret getting Invisalign, even though there's definitely... I don't feel like I was told the whole truth by...
You think your dentist lied to you?
I think the dentist lied to me when I went to get Invisalign. Would I have it again? Yes. And I feel like now I couldn't live without having really nice straight teeth.
Well, I've noticed that, like, I've become a teeth snob now.
You've become the teeth police.
I am the teeth police. I suddenly now notice. It's funny because before I had my teeth straightened, I just thought my teeth were fine and everyone else's teeth was fine. But I'll watch like a movie. The one I remember is actually Only Fools and Horses. I watched the Only Fools and Horses the other day. We watched it together, and it was the episode. By the way, what a great show! Just mention what a great show that is. But watched Only Fools and Horses, and the episode where he meets Raquel for the first time, and I saw Raquel, and I was like, man, she needs to get her teeth sorted. Her teeth are terrible. And I've watched that episode many, many times before I had my teeth done. Didn't think anything, and now suddenly I noticed.
Yeah, you notice everyone's bad teeth now.
I can't believe how bad people's teeth are that I didn't notice before. It's crazy. But when you say your dentist lied to you, what do you mean exactly?
Well, I feel like it is amazing. Like, we've all now got really nice teeth. But they do lie about, how long it's going to take initially.
Oh, yeah. They told me 6 months, it took 9.
Yeah, and actually, mine said 6 months and was, but I'm the only person I know that it took the time that they said. And I know, like, a lot of other people were like, I was told, like you... 6 months, exactly. But the biggest one that then, as you go for your final, you think, yes, I've got these teeth, this is amazing. They then inform you that you have to wear your retainer for life.
Yeah.
Yes, at night, but not another 6 months, not a year, not 18 months, for life. All your teeth will go back
to how they were before. That was, I'll be honest, that was a little bit disappointing. So if you don't know what Invisalign is, basically it's a bit like braces, but they're like, well, I say it's a bit like braces. It's just the same job as braces. It's actually more like a boxing gum shield.
Yeah.
But it's invisible, so it fits your teeth. They get made for your teeth, and you change them every week, and they just basically nudge your teeth into position. So I had to wear mine for 9 months, but I agree. I didn't get told I had to wear them for life either. It was like, oh, your teeth will be done in 9 months. So 9 months later, I'm thinking my teeth are now done.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you got to wear it at night. Oh, got to wear it because you have to wear it for like 22 hours of the day as well. So it's not like a little bit. You're wearing it like all the time. But then once they're done, you've still got to wear it at night forever.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they go back, which is nuts.
And it actually like proper hinders my sleep as well. So I now only wear them every other night. So that's a real neg. But we do all have great teeth.
Well, this is true. This is true. So this is well done, Rob. This was a good influence. But but we influence each other. Obviously, our teeth. A lot of our family, my family in particular, less so yours. But we all do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, if one of us gets a personal trainer, we'll all use that personal trainer. If one of us goes to a certain gym, we'll all go to that certain gym. One of us gets a car.
Yeah, David Lloyd passes.
From a certain garage.
We're all David Lloyd members.
We're all David Lloyd members. We very much influence each other 100%. So I suppose the question is, first thing is, do we believe this? Do we believe Jim Rohn is correct and you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with? Do you believe that's true?
Yeah, I probably do.
I 100% believe it's true. And I think there's 4 areas when I break it down that I think that you're most likely to be influenced. So these, and they're all F's, nice and easy to remember.
All
so
the F's.
First is your finances. I think that you're likely to be affected. If you're hanging around with people that are wealthy, I think you're much more likely to be wealthy. If you're hanging around with people that are brokies, I think you're much more likely to be a brokey. First, finances. Next is your fitness.
Yeah.
Your fitness and your health.
I actually personally think fitness, you're more influenced than finances.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let's go through the 4 and we'll discuss them. So next, fitness. Next is your faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought, if you're, and also not just your faith, as in, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, I believe it, but if you hang around people that have got Christian morals, for example, you're more likely to fit in with that. And fourthly is your family, how you treat your partners, how you treat I say family and relationships, but I'm going to go family and friends, just keep it in the F's. Yep. Family and friends, how you treat relationships, how you parent, all that sort of stuff. I think it's very influenced. So I think they're probably the 4 key areas of your life that are likely to be influenced. So you obviously want to hang around with people that are what you aspire to be rather than like maybe what you are. You want to be hanging around people that are in good shape, not people that are smokers and go to the pub.
Yeah.
Why do you think we're so influenced by? Because I think we're all more influenced than we'd like to think.
Yeah, I think that's true. You're probably being influenced without even really being aware you're influenced.
Yeah. I think we all like to think, well,
and then sometimes
I'm a free spirit. I make my own mind up.
And then sometimes you sit back and think, oh, I've changed a bit there, and you realise how influenced you've actually been.
But even if you just look at, though, like different cultures. So if you go from country to country, a lot of cultures are very different. They eat different food, they speak differently, just your dialects.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't think, would you? You'd think as an adult, as a grown man, my dialect, how I speak is kind of pretty set in stone. But move me to America for 2 years and I'll start twanging. Do you know what I mean? In America, you do even things like that you pick up, right? So we're very, very influenced. So I think it's very important who your close friends are and who you hang around with. And if you've got people in your life that are not what you want to be like and are therefore a bad influence on you, I think we do it with our kids, don't we? Oh, our kids, that person's a bad influence. We see it then, where it's not us. Oh, they're a bad influence. They shouldn't hang around with them. Oh, no, I'm going to step in. What, me have bad influence friends? No, I'm way too mature for that. Well, actually, I hate to break it to you, but you're not. And they are a bad influence, and you need to control it. In the same way you do for your kids, you need to control it for yourself.
Yeah.
So I think in those 4 key areas, if you're hanging around with people that are a bad influence, and by bad influence, I just mean are not what you want, because if they're not what you want, they will be a bad influence on you.
Yeah.
You should either stop seeing them completely and cut them off.
Oh, I don't know if I totally agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, I think that's a bit strong.
Why
I don't think you have to cut them off.
But who's your loyalty to? Is your loyalty to yourself and the people that you love the most? Because, for example, right?
No, but what about if it is someone you love the most?
What do you mean? So, as in, like, it's a family member or something?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't let me finish. I said I either cut them off, and I was going to say or, and then you sort of stop.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd agree with that in any.
So if you've got a bad friend that's a bad influence on you, that's like...
Yeah, but being a bad friend and being a bad influence, like, so would you, if one of your friends got fat, would you just be like, that's it, goodbye, you're fat now, you can't hang out with me? Lots of people have dumped you off over the years then.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean? You can't just start going, right, you're fat, no, do it. Oh, you're going through a bad financial time, out. Because then that just makes you an awful friend. I think you can't just have it as, oh, if they don't... Do you know what I mean? You're almost then being like a parent, making a child live up to absolute top expectations. And if you fail in any way, it's like, right, out. To me, that's not what friendship is. I think, yes, I do agree with the statement, but at the end of the day, a best friend's a best friend, isn't it? Like, I kind of think, especially your close friends, like, I would never been a close friend off.
For getting fat?
For getting fat.
Or would you have them as your bridesmaid?
Yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't agree with binning them off.
You don't agree at all?
The only way I would bin someone off, I think the cut off for me is if they didn't support me in what I was doing. So if I wanted, like, if they were actually, there's a difference between being a bit of a bad influence. If they were actually bringing me down, and they were, so obviously over the time I've had people criticise me once we became successful, and they actually didn't support, like, they wanted bad on me, they were put out, we'd become, that's different. Yes, I would cut them off. But if someone's a nice, good, long-standing friend, and then
do you know what though? Do you know what?
And who makes us the judge and jury of who? Oh, you're a pound too heavy now, right? Binned off. Oh, you don't quite make enough. Who makes us judge and jury of what that line is? Because someone who's
you're just worried you're too fat to be my friend, aren't you?
Like, do you know what I mean? Who makes us judge and jury of who's good enough?
Yeah.
Like, we're all just different.
I hear what you're saying, and you're making a good point. However, this is what I would.
But that's my point for binning them off. I'm not suggesting if someone lives a completely different life, has a different money mentality, not spending all your time with them. I'd totally agree with that. But binning them off, I'd be very dubious to agree with that statement.
All right. Well, you didn't let me finish the statement.
Well, it feels like you did.
You feel like
and
I
then
did.
I won an argument. You want to add to your statement.
Let me finish. Let me finish the statement.
Extension.
Although, sort of adding on to what I was saying, actually, I actually think a lot of people. You mentioned that people sort of wish bad on you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of friends aren't deliberately trying to, like, bring you down. So, well, do you know, if, for example, let's say I was really fat. Right?
It always comes back to you being fat.
Let's say I was really fat, and you were trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
There's no... I'm not, like, wishing that you're fat as well. I'm not like, oh, wow. But just me being fat and wanting to eat loads of food and being in that zone would be a bad influence on you if you were trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So if you were already slim and didn't struggle with being slim and were fine and weren't putting on weight, then I don't think it would matter. But if you were hanging around with me, because naturally I would want you... We hang around with people that are like us normally, right? And naturally you want your friends to be like you. So if I wanted a cake, I'd want you... If we were going out and let's say we go to the cinema and I wanted a hot dog and popcorn, I'd want you to have a hot dog and popcorn as well.
Yeah, to make yourself feel good.
If I was an alcoholic and you were also an alcoholic and I wanted to stop, you would be a bad influence on me because you would want me to drink.
Why do you have
with
to say alcoholic? Why can't you just say
Well,
someone
I said fat for me, didn't I?
like, couldn't you just say someone who likes to have a glass of wine with me?
All right, let's say you were someone who likes to have a glass of wine. You little okay. Let's say you were just someone who likes to have a
Why
glass
did
of
you
wine.
have to say? And then there's an alcoholic.
Because it was an extreme. It was, but you would be a bad influence because, and it's not that you want me to be an alcoholic as well. It's just that it makes you feel better when I do it with you.
Okay, I feel like that was a personal attack.
We need therapy after this podcast. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So it's not like I think the reason that most because I know people who've started like trying to turn their life around. They're in a job or whatever that they hate. They're just ticking along with life. Their friends and family will do the same thing. They go to the pub at the weekends. They're like, you know what? I've had enough of this. I want to get into property investing. I want to turn my life around. I want to become successful. I want all in on this.
Yeah.
And their friends and family are dragging them back.
Yeah.
Not because they don't like them, not because they don't want them to succeed, just because they can't relate to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, just come to the pub. What are you doing? Take it easy. Terrible advice.
Yeah.
So if you're hanging around with people like that, and
I think there's a mixture. I've had both. I've had that kind of, I feel like it's just naive. They know no different. But I've also had just general people that I realised, maybe they're just, sometimes you do find out who your friends are and you think, oh, okay, you're just not that good a friend because you don't actually want to see me.
Yeah, but it's interesting because when I put weight on, first, when
you love talking about your weight, don't you? It's almost like you wanted to do a podcast about losing weight.
No, but when I was about, 18, 19, when I started hanging out with Craig, because Craig got really bad.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with Craig, and he was a bad influence on me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think definitely like that because it's really hard, especially with food. I think food's the big one. I think that's what we're talking about.
Food and fitness.
I think food and fitness.
I think money's a big one.
I think
money's of course it is. Of course it's a big one. Like you kind of hang around with people that are like your sort of level, right? So if you're hanging around with people that they're all in a certain job, all doing the same thing, you're going to do the same thing as well. You're not going to break out. If you let's say, obviously we train property investors, right? So they come on the academy. They start hanging around with people that are being successful property investors, that are doing deals, that are buying properties. That gives you it's like when if you're on your own, you're isolated, you're around people that don't do it, you're having to step out for the first time. It's much easier to copy someone else and stand in someone else's footsteps. Do you know? It's like when I go skiing, right? It's much easier for me to follow someone, because I'm not very good at skiing. It's much easier for me to follow someone else down and say, they've already put the marks out. I can see where they've gone. Yeah. Rather than a whole fresh. Do you know? And people saying, no, don't go skiing. Do you know what I mean? Which is the equivalent of what they're doing with finances. So I think, personally, which I was originally going to say, you either should cut them off or limit the amount of time you spend. And I think in most cases that you're talking about, like if it's a good friend or family.
Well, in what situation would someone that has been a friend, would you cut them off then? Like, I feel like that's so extreme. I feel like what would they do to justify you cutting them off?
What would they have to do?
Yeah.
What
would influence you so bad that you feel like the need to be like, right?
If they were saying to me, let's say it's difficult now because I'm already in the position where I've already got lots of good friendship group around me and stuff. But I think if I was, for example, let's say if I was, and again we're going to go extreme, but let's say I was trying to turn my life around and you were on drugs or something. And then I was trying to come off drugs. I would stop hanging around with the people that were on drugs.
Yeah.
I'd just stop. I'd cut them off completely because I know they're a bad influence on me. And I'm trying to turn my life around and go for something new. Don't want that in my life anymore. Anything where I was extreme.
Yeah, but I feel like it'd have to be extreme. With your 4 Fs, I don't think any of those personally are extreme enough to warrant cutting someone off completely.
Because what you'd probably do in reality is you would cut them off, but you'd do it slowly. You'd phase them out.
Yeah, probably. And I think you just do over time, certain people you naturally distance yourself from, even if you don't realise it.
But I think the first thing is being aware.
Yeah.
Being aware of, okay, who around me, and finding new, rather than necessarily just going, right, I'm cutting off all my friends. I now have no friends. It's like move into new circles.
Yeah.
So for example, like when we moved our life down, we moved out of Warsaw, we moved to Beaconsfield.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that was the environment for the kids growing up, but also for us as the people around, the friends we're going to make, the circles we're going to move in. It's totally different to what we were doing in Warsaw.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm not saying that Warsaw, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Warsaw. Not a lot right with it either. But it's a much better environment now than what we were living in before.
Yep.
So have we gone to all our Warsaw friends? No. But we've also got new friends over here. So it's kind of a slow replacement.
Yeah. No, but I don't disagree with that. I do disagree with the whole really dramatic, just bin your friends off.
Yeah, it's not like a divorce.
Yeah. Because what would you do if your partner was, like you say, we didn't split up just because we were bad influences on each other?
Well, that's a difficult question. If I had a partner, if I was in a girlfriend-boyfriend type relationship and I had a partner who I felt was dragging me back, I wouldn't want to be with someone like that.
What about if you were married?
I think if you're married, it's very different because for me, I believe marriage is for life. So if you're married, you're committed to that person. So you put yourself in a difficult situation by making a bad decision beforehand, in which case it's a bad decision you've kind of got to live with.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But I
suppose... because I personally would never, ever encourage anyone to leave their partner, stop seeing a family member based on them being bad influences. I think, just... Do you know what I mean? Don't hang out with them all the time. Also, remember,
it's the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So if you've got one person that's... Make sure you hang around with other people, again, replacing rather than getting rid of. Make sure your other people you hang around... Make sure they're not all like it.
Yeah.
If you've got one really good friend who's fat, and you're like, okay, well, they're my really good friend, though, so that's a shame. Well, just make sure that I'm not all fat friends, because then I probably will become fat. If my other friends, do you know what I mean? Rather than writing one off, it's making new friends, getting new influences. Also, another thing I'd point out as well, I think you can be very influenced, just from personal experience now. I haven't seen any studies on this, but I think you can be very, very influenced by the people that you, and I'm going to use hang around with very, very loosely, but for example, I know a lot of people who watch Samuel's Leeds' YouTube videos, and they watch all his videos, everything he puts out. I think they'll be very influenced by him, and they'll feel like they know him, even though they're not actually hanging out with him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the books that you read, the TV shows that you watch, the podcasts that you listen to, the audio books you listen to, the YouTube videos you watch, a lot of that can really influence you as well. Like for me, I watch a hell of a lot, as you know, at the moment, of Mike Israetel.
Yep.
On YouTube, right? All fitness stuff. I feel like I know Mike Israetel. I know what he thinks about fitness. I'm very influenced. My fitness things are anyway.
I go to bed listening to him. I'm surprised I haven't dreamt about him, to be honest.
All right, then.
But literally, that's what I hear going to sleep at night.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm very influenced by Mike Israetel. Now, I'm not physically friends with him, but I think you can put other things into your life as well to shape your behaviours.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the people. I think the people you hang around with are very important, and I'd be very mindful of it and very aware of it. I wouldn't be quick to cut off friends, but I would be quick to limit the amount of time you spend with friends that you notice, now that you're more aware of it, have a negative influence on you, whether that be any of those 4 things that we talked about. Yeah. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think... Limit.
And find new friends. Think, okay, where do I want to... Because also, I also think it depends. If it's something that you don't struggle with, it probably doesn't matter. Like, if you're a gym goer and you go to the gym and you eat healthy anyway, and you've got a fat friend, who cares? It's only really a problem if it's influencing you.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make it as an entrepreneur and you've got friends that are poo-pooing it, laughing at it, and holding you back, then you might think, okay, well, maybe I need to take a break from that. But if you've got friends that are just hardworking, normal friends that have a normal job, and, you know... and they support you, and then it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, definitely.
But so kind of, I suppose, in summary, then, you are very influenced by the people around you, as well as other stuff that you can take in. If you've got friends that, and I don't think it's the friends and family that you've got, like I mentioned, are trying to wish bad on you. I think that they just can't relate to you when you change, and they don't like it. They want you to stay as you are.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to change, just be aware your friends and family won't like it.
Yeah. All the chances are
people will want you to stay as you are. They won't want you to. You might think, well, we're getting better, but they can't relate to it.
No.
In the same way that if you stop drinking alcohol, how much pressure do your friends put on you when you stop drinking alcohol? Oh, why are you not drinking? You're not drinking. Oh. You know what? Because I'm not drinking poison. You're bothered. You want me to drink poison with you? No thanks. Do you know what I mean?
you don't say no thanks.
I don't say no thanks, but I quickly drink. I'm the one influencing them, if anything. No, I don't particularly drink, do I?
No. But yeah, that's where I'm a bad influence. But then I'm very easily influenced.
Yeah. So it's a case of deciding where you want to improve, being very, very self-aware, hanging around with people that are better than you in those areas, and then just phasing out anyone who is actively a bad influence on you. I think it's just being very, very aware.
Yeah.
That kind of sums it up.
I think that sums it up.
Brilliant. Well, guys, thanks ever so much for watching. I'm Russell Leeds.
I'm Anna Leeds.
And we'll see you on the Leeds to Success podcast next week.